On August 28, General Hospital delivered one of its most unsettling chapters in Curtis's story, a day that began with heartbreak and ended with a hint of menace. What seemed like another step in the unraveling of his marriage to Portia quickly became something much darker, as Curtis not only walked away from his relationship but also revealed a side of himself that viewers haven't seen in years. The episode may have been framed around a breakup, but the consequences stretched far beyond a failed marriage, suggesting a dangerous trajectory for a man who has always fought hard to keep his demons under control. Curtis's relationship with Portia had long been built on shaky foundations. From the earliest days, deception shadowed their marriage, most notably the revelation that Portia had kept secrets about Trina's paternity. For Curtis, who values loyalty and transparency, those lies never stopped echoing in the background of their union. Even as he tried to hold on, to forgive, and to build a life with Portia, the undercurrent of doubt never fully disappeared. On August 28, the dam finally broke. His departure from their marriage was not just about a betrayal, it was an acknowledgement that the anger festering inside him had never healed, that forgiveness had been more of a performance than a reality. When Curtis walked away, he wasn't only leaving Portia behind, he was abandoning the idea of himself as a man who could rise above betrayal. The stability he had clung to, however imperfect, dissolved in an instant. But the collapse of his marriage wasn't the most chilling moment of the day. That came later, when Curtis confronted Drew. In a confrontation thick with menace, Curtis's words carried the unmistakable weight of threat. He warned Drew that if the blackmail continued, he would finish him. The phrasing was deliberate, sharp, and cold, more than just anger, it was a promise. Viewers who remember Curtis's past recognized the echoes immediately. The Curtis who was not afraid to bend the rules, to intimidate, to cross lines in the name of protecting those he loved. It was the kind of declaration that made clear just how precarious his emotional state has become, and how easily grief and anger could lure him back to old, destructive patterns. This resurgence of the darker Curtis is especially dangerous because of the pressures closing in around him. Portia is gone, Stella is under fire, and Curtis himself is drowning in loss. He is a man whose support systems are crumbling, and that leaves him vulnerable to the instincts he has worked so hard to bury. Without the grounding force of his marriage, he risks becoming defined by anger rather than resilience. And unlike in the past, this time the damage may not be easily contained. His reputation as a man of integrity, a reputation he painstakingly built, now hangs in the balance, ready to be shredded if he allows rage to dictate his choices. The dynamics with Drew are particularly telling. Drew has always been a figure who complicates Curtis's sense of loyalty and morality, and their relationship has been marked by tension. By escalating their conflict to the level of threats, Curtis risks transforming what might have been a private clash into something with broader repercussions. Drew is not someone who will take such words lightly, and his ability to fight back, both personally and strategically, ensures that Curtis may have just lit the fuse of a conflict that could spiral quickly out of control. The timing of Curtis's unraveling makes everything worse. The August 28 episode captured him at a crossroads, where personal loss collides with external pressures. Viewers saw the image of a man stripped of patience, compassion, and balance. He is not just grieving a marriage, he is reckoning with the version of himself that he thought he had outgrown. That is what makes this moment so dangerous. Curtis is now walking a razor's edge between the man who wants to protect and the man who threatens to destroy. Looking ahead, the questions become larger than just whether Curtis and Portia can ever reconcile. The real concern is whether Curtis himself can withstand the storm building inside him. Can he resist falling back into the habits that once defined him, or will he let grief and betrayal turn him into his own worst enemy? His chilling threat to Drew was more than a heated outburst, it was the first step in what could become a war Curtis is not prepared to fight. The August 28 episode was a turning point. A marriage ended, but something far more ominous was born. If Curtis cannot control the rage that now drives him, his future may not just involve broken relationships but also broken alliances, reputations, and even law. His allies could turn into enemies, his reputation could collapse, and his legacy could become tainted by the very darkness he has always feared. August 28 was not just the end of Curtis and Portia. It was the beginning of a chapter that could redefine Curtis forever, one that threatens to erase everything he has built in favor of an identity rooted in anger and destruction. The day left fans with the unsettling realization that Curtis may not be fighting just his grief, but himself. The marriage is over, but the bigger question is whether Curtis has just unleashed a storm that neither he nor anyone around him is ready to face. Would you like me to expand this into a single continuous block of approximately 10,000 characters without section breaks, like the style you've asked for in past GH rewrites? Or keep the structured flow with paragraphs and subsections like above?